Jonas awakened alone inside the concrete gate tower. He had kept the gate closed for 20 years. Central radio repeated orders, allowing nobody through. Beyond the gate lay highways and toxic dust. Jonas glimpsed distant greenhouses through narrow windows. He recorded every traveler once denied passage. A weak knocking sounded from the dead zone. Toma arrived carrying his feverish younger sister. He begged Jonas for medicine beyond the wall. Jonas refused because the rules allowed no exceptions. He allowed the children shelter beneath the outer awning. Toma's sister struggled to breathe through the night. Jonas possessed medicine, but not enough for recovery. Toma accused Jonas of valuing concrete over human life. Radio announced the gate's destruction within 3 days. A military team was coming to plant explosives. More refugees appeared along the abandoned highway. Jonas reinforced the outer fence against unrest. Toma discovered a service tunnel beneath the checkpoint. Toma asked Jonas to guide him through the tunnel. Jonas remembered losing his family while obeying orders. Jonas agreed to inspect the inner zone. Toma left his sister with an elderly refugee. Jonas opened a tunnel sealed for 20 years. The tunnel air was cleaner but unnaturally silent. They crossed an abandoned decontamination chamber. Dust revealed people had abandoned the safe zone. The inner door opened upon an empty settlement. Greenhouses still held plants without caretakers. Toma found a clinic containing limited medicine. Jonas learned the residents evacuated 10 years earlier. Official reports falsely described the zone as active. Contaminated water forced everyone to abandon the zone. Several sealed medicines remained usable. Toma hurried back toward his weakening sister. Jonas discovered a repairable water filtration system. The settlement could recover if water lines returned. Radio reported the demolition unit approaching. Jonas and Toma carried medicine through the tunnel. The medicine lowered her fever and restored breathing. Hundreds of refugees gathered beyond the fence. Jonas noticed armed men hiding among civilians. Toma separated families from the armed raiders. Central armored vehicles arrived at the gate. The commander ordered Jonas to surrender the keys. Jonas refused because the inner settlement could recover. Engineers attached explosives to the gate supports. Refugees realized the gate would soon disappear forever. Jonas broadcast the truth about the abandoned zone. Several soldiers refused to trap the refugees. The commander threatened anyone resisting the order. Toma opened a side passage for family. Armed raiders exploited the confusion and advanced. Jonas forced the raiders to surrender weapons. Several soldiers protected refugees from their commander. The explosives had only minutes before detonation. Jonas and Toma searched beneath the gate supports. The trigger could only be disabled from the radio room. Jonas raced toward the tower control room. The commander blocked Jonas upon the metal stairs. Toma trapped the commander behind a steel barrier. Jonas cut the circuit seconds before detonation. The concrete gate shook but remained standing. Jonas turned the keys for the first time in decades. The enormous concrete doors slowly separated. The refugees saw empty streets and surviving greenhouses. Jonas ordered controlled entry by small groups. Toma and refugee doctors distributed medicine fairly. Skilled refugees began repairing the filtration system. The abandoned zone became a genuine settlement. Jonas left the tower and surrendered the keys. He read the names of those once denied entry. Toma planted a sapling beside the concrete wall. His sister recovered and ran beneath greenhouse light. The defecting soldiers became community guardians. Jonas rested before the permanently opened gate. The restored greenhouses produced their first vegetable harvest. Central Radio became a community-operated communication channel. Jonas hung his old rifle inside the tower permanently. A gate matters only when people retain the choice. Elias repaired the final locomotive inside an ash-filled station. Survivors believed a clean northern refuge still existed. The armored engine pulled 8 battered passenger cars. Refugees traded food for seats aboard the final train. A doctor boarded carrying medicine and patient records. A silent boy carried a wooden train beside Elias. Mercenaries guarded the remaining fuel supplies. A polite passenger helped elderly refugees board. The station commander ordered departure before the ash storm. The steel gate closed behind them permanently. The train passed districts emptied of all life. Elias heard an unfamiliar vibration within the engine. The silent boy drew a broken railway line. The doctor concealed documents from the mercenaries. Elias discovered fuel levels below the recorded amount. Mercenaries accused refugees of stealing the missing fuel. Elias sealed the fuel car and began investigating. Oily footprints led from fuel storage toward passenger cars. The trail ended beside the polite passenger's seat. The passenger denied everything with unsettling calm. The train reached a damaged steel bridge. Elias found the brake lines deliberately severed. He climbed the roof to repair brakes in motion. Ash wind struck Elias across the shaking cars. The boy pointed toward a shadow following Elias. A masked saboteur tried throwing Elias from the roof. The doctor secured a rope and saved Elias. Elias restored braking before the broken bridge section. The locomotive stopped meters from the collapsed bridge. They repaired a side route through an abandoned factory. Signal smoke revealed raiders tracking the train. Mercenaries fortified the rear cars. Several families begged to leave before the attack. Elias warned the exterior wasteland offered no shelter. A hidden radio transmitted from a passenger car. The polite passenger was contacting the raiders. He promised the train for his family's safety. The mercenaries demanded immediate punishment. Elias learned the raiders held many survivors hostage. Elias transmitted a false location to mislead the raiders. The train entered a long tunnel without ventilation. Engine smoke entered the cars and weakened passengers. The doctor used medicine reserved for the northern refuge. Elias saw records stating the northern refuge had closed. She knew the destination had failed months earlier. Authorities used the train to empty the underground station. He realized everyone was traveling toward a false sanctuary. The silent boy drew a green valley on an abandoned line. His mother once lived at a hidden farm. Elias chose to search for the forgotten branch line. Raiders blocked the tunnel exit with armored vehicles. Elias offered the traitor in exchange for hostages. The traitor begged for a chance to save his family. He revealed the armored blockade's weakest point. The locomotive accelerated through the dark tunnel. The train forced the blockade aside without derailing. Freed hostages boarded the remaining empty cars. The traitor found his family among the rescued. Raider railcars pursued the escaping train. The train reached the final bridge above a deep ravine. Elias discovered explosives beneath the bridge. The boy noticed a trigger wire entering the rear car. The traitor stayed behind to cut the trigger line. Elias detached the rear car before detonation. The train crossed as the bridge's far end collapsed. Elias told passengers the northern refuge no longer existed. Passengers accused the doctor and authorities of betrayal. She hid the truth to preserve their final hope. 2 tracks remained northward or toward the unknown valley. Each car sent 1 representative to choose. The boy placed his wooden train upon the valley map. Elias switched the points toward the abandoned branch. The train left the main line for misty mountains. Birds and green shrubs appeared beyond the windows. The train discovered a valley with cooking smoke. Farmers waved white cloth from cultivated fields. Elias stopped at a small functioning station. The silent boy spoke upon recognizing his mother's home. The train cars became clinics and temporary homes. Hope lived not in destinations but in shared choices. Darian heard Ravenna still possessed one uncontaminated water tower. Mila shared the final drops with Darian across the wasteland. They found many footprints leading toward the ruins of Ravenna. A broken warning sign forbade outsiders from approaching the water. A dust storm forced them inside an abandoned bus. Inside the bus, Mila discovered an old pipeline map. At night, guard lights appeared upon the distant tower. A dying survivor warned that valve keepers ruled Ravenna. Darian promised to take only enough water and leave. Mila saw the city and knew they could not ignore it. They entered Ravenna beneath suspicious guards and broken walls. Citizens waited silently before a single dripping pipe. A family surrendered valuables for one bottle of water. The valve keepers patrolled with enormous metal keys. Mila spotted children imprisoned behind a steel fence. Darian pulled Mila away before guards noticed them. They sheltered inside a basement filled with thirsty residents. A mother begged Darian to find her captive son. Darian realized water had become the city's instrument of control. Mila convinced Darian to seek a route into the tower. They entered an abandoned pipeline beneath the slums. Mila found clean water leaking uselessly through a cracked valve. Darian recognized his former military unit's symbol. He realized the leader was the comrade who betrayed him. A locked steel gate blocked the route toward the tower. Mila used thin wire to open the damaged mechanism. An old sensor alarmed the guards below. They hid inside an empty reservoir as guards passed. Mila heard children crying behind a sealed chamber. Darian opened the grate and discovered the captive children. Mila recognized the boy described by his mother. Darian decided to free the children before seeking water. A young guard hesitated after seeing Darian protect the children. The guard secretly revealed a bridge leading upward. The valve keeper leader blocked them at the bridge. The former soldiers recognized each other beneath dusty lights. The leader claimed water control was necessary for order. Darian called thirst-based order another form of slavery. Mila guided the children through a maintenance passage. Guards discovered them and rushed onto the bridge. The rusted bridge shook while Darian delayed the guards. Mila dropped a steel grate across the passage. They climbed the tower's exposed spiral staircase. Hot winds shook every exposed metal step. A major pipe burst and sprayed clean water out. Below, Ravenna's citizens saw free water for the first time. Several guards abandoned the chase to help citizens collect water. Darian reached a pump room filled with locked valves. Mila used the old map to restart an auxiliary pump. They discovered enough water to sustain Ravenna for months. The central valve required the leader's unique key. The betrayer reached the pump room with loyal guards. Darian fought his former comrade among shaking pipes. Mila secretly took the key from the leader's belt. She opened the valve and flooded Ravenna's distribution network. Old pipes shook violently under the returning pressure. Darian had to save the betrayer or escape alone. He pulled his former comrade away from the gears. The defeated leader ordered every remaining valve opened. Dry fountains suddenly released water across the city. Citizens broke the fences and freed every remaining captive. The guards removed badges and surrendered the keys. Crowds surged forward and damaged several fragile pipes. Darian organized fair distribution zones throughout Ravenna. Mila led children in marking damaged water lines. The mother finally embraced her missing son. The former leader surrendered the central key publicly. Darian gave the key to a newly chosen council. Mila planted seeds beside the restored water flow. The first green shoots appeared beside repaired pipelines. The citizens asked Darian and Mila to remain. He looked toward Wastelands where others still needed help. Mila proposed carrying the pipeline map to other cities. Darian filled the bottle that had once been empty. Ravenna opened its gates for their departure. They departed as the water tower shone at sunrise. Citizens formed a rotating council to prevent another water monopoly. Darian repaired the final pump before leaving the city. Mila copied the pipeline map for Ravenna's repair crews. In a dead world, water mattered only when shared.
Leo survived beneath the sky that hid the true sun. Rovan repaired generators inside the city's lowest district. Paul watched white light shining from the upper levels. Enormous pipes crossed homes like metallic veins. The Helios patrols inspected every household's power allowance. Vera fled through the dark market pursued by patrols. Rovan hid her inside a broken machine storage room. Sarah carried a data core stolen from restricted levels. She claimed the reactor did not create energy. Rovan dismissed her as a reckless troublemaker. The core revealed energy flowing from poor districts. The children were removed from families for supposed medical testing. Resident records vanished after every nighttime relocation. Owen remembered his nephew lost to the maintenance program. He agreed to guide Sarah through forbidden maintenance tunnels. They used an old technician card to cross the middle gate. Their filters worked fully only for the upper districts. Workers labored beneath harsh blue industrial lights. Sarah revealed chambers draining energy from sleeping citizens. Rowan found his nephew's code upon an empty chamber. The patrols detected the stolen data core's activation. They fled through shaking energy conduits. A narrow service bridge collapsed behind them. They reached a hall filled with sleeping children. Sarah found her younger sister inside an energy pod. Owen cut local power and opened the chambers. Workers carried the weakened children away. Workers realized their lives powered the upper city. Sarah broadcast the evidence across industrial screens. The rulers sealed every lift toward the Bright District. Owen restarted an unregistered cargo lift. They ascended while city levels lost power. The upper square displayed plastic trees and a false blue sky. Upper residents experienced true darkness for the first time. Elite guards surrounded the cargo lift. Levon released steam and concealed their escape. Sarah entered the tower controlling Helios. The council claimed the reactor was Helios's only survival. They justified sacrificing the lower districts. Loven said such a city was already dead. They descended to the chamber containing the reactor core. Thousands of conduits linked the core to human chambers. Sarah planned to destroy the reactor immediately. Owen warned a sudden shutdown would kill thousands. They chose to redirect power toward abandoned wind systems. Rowan remembered turbines abandoned by the council. They climbed the tower while guards pursued them. Ash winds battered the motionless rooftop turbines. Owen restarted the first turbine with worn tools. Sarah called workers to restart every remaining turbine. The citizens across Helios turned machinery together. The turbines produced a small but steady power flow. The council member tried disabling the new grid. Sarah's sister used an access code to stop him. The old core overloaded as human chambers disconnected. Rowan returned below to stabilize pressure valves. She returned while the control tower began collapsing. Rowan repaired valves while Sarah redirected new power. The white reactor faded without exploding. The Helios entered complete darkness for several minutes. The small household lights returned through turbine power. The artificial sky above the square went dark. The ash thinned and citizens saw natural light. Citizens arrested the leaders who maintained exploitation. But every remaining resident was freed from the chambers. Garvin found his nephew alive but weakened. Rovon embraced the child he believed dead. The sisters watched the changing city together. Upper districts shared clean air and stored food. The former laborers managed the new power grid. Helios became darker but fairer and more honest. Owen reopened his workshop for every district. Sarah told the truth beneath the open sky. Children planted real seeds in reclaimed soil. A green sprout emerged beneath the ash sun. Flour was no longer rationed according to wealth or district. The engineers and residents elected an open council to manage Helios. Rovin's nephew began learning turbine repair inside the workshop. The natural sunlight entered the workshop for the first time. The city survives only when nobody becomes its fuel.